Benvenuti, benvenute alla ultima conferenza di questa seconda edizione dell'Hip Hop Cinefest. Siamo in diretta dal Cinema L'Aquila di Roma e nel frattempo siamo sempre sintonizzati sul nostro canale ufficiale di YouTube. Questa conferenza appunto cercherà di ripercorrere i passi e i cenni storici del cinema hip hop con ospiti illustri internazionali da diverse parti del mondo e ovviamente anche con la nostra direttrice Giulia Giorgi. Quindi senza ulteriori indugi passerei la parola al moderatore di oggi, che è Rob Schwartz di WhoMag, che è tra l'altro tra i nostri partner, che modererà la sessione, che sarà quindi bilingue, inglese e italiano. Grazie, vi ricordo di continuare a guardare i film su Filmocracy e di donare un piccolo contributo su PayPal per sostenere il cinema indipendente e i progetti. Grazie mille.
Hello. Can you guys hear me? Mic check, mic check. What's the deal? Is this on?
Yeah, no, it's only for the streaming.
Oh, it's for the streaming.
Yeah.
My bad. Hi, everybody. My name is Rob Schwartz. I'm from New Jersey. I've been involved with hip hop my entire life. I started off working at Polygram Records and put out Jay-Z's first record. I know artists like Blase, Jerry the Damager, Beanie Man. From there, I started a website in 2001, became one of the biggest hip-hop websites with original video content called WhoMag.net. 2005, I purchased the first hip-hop DVD magazine ever, or first hip-hop DVD ever on Netflix, in Blockbuster and Walmart and Target. 2007, I put out the biggest independent hip-hop TV show, premiered in Europe on Sky TV, 120 million households, and it came back to the U.S. 2010, I launched a music distribution company, WhoMag Distribution. Our first record was KRS-One and Just Ice. That's what got me my deal, and that was 12 years ago. And now we have about 2,000 titles, a Grammy, and multiple #1 Billboard records. 2012, we launched the very first hip-hop network ever on OTT smart TVs called iFame TV. We premiered it on Roku. Now we have 3 networks, iFame TV, WhoMag Multimedia, and VideoVision. We have thousands of music videos from all over the world, movies, TV shows. Personally, my show, WhoMag TV, we interviewed over 3,000 hip-hop artists. All the biggest names in the world have been on my platform. We were the first hip-hop company ever verified on Facebook, the first one verified by YouTube. 2000, there's so much we did. Let's see. Last year, I don't know if anyone in NFTs? Anyone know what NFTs are? We're the first music distribution company to ever do NFTs last year with something we did called the Homies. And a lot more. I'm going to show you some quick clips from my WhoMag Hip Hop document, which won the Pocono Film Festival for Best Hip Hop Documentary. I'm going to show you a little clip from WhoMag TV, just to get you the idea. But I got three requests real quick, though. Make sure you guys stay to the end for 3 reasons. Number one, I need everyone here to sign my poster. So when we go back to the U.S., I can hang this on my wall. Number two, we got giveaways for people who ask questions and participate. And number 3, we definitely got to get a group shot of everybody. All right? So make sure everyone stays to the end. So I'm going to show you 3 little quick clips of WhoMag, get an idea of who we are, what we do, before we start and get into it.
You are watching WhoMag TV. Everybody with force and D's.
It's that little Chico Pitbull, Mr. 305 right here with WhoMag.
What's up, y'all? This is Ron B. And I'm DJ Easy Rock, and we chilling with WhoMag.
This is Sean Ashes. You're watching WhoMag.
This is In Vogue, and you're watching WhoMag TV.
It's your boy Joel Ortiz, Brooklyn Zone in the building. You're watching WhoMag TV. WhoMag.
Yo, what up? This is Sean P. This is WhoMag TV.
Wyclef, WhoMag.net.
This is me, Vincy, with WhoMag TV.
Big Sean, good music, man. Shout out to WhoMag.
Yeah, it's your boy Meek Melly, and you watching WhoMag TV.
This is Stacey Dash, and you're watching WhoMag TV.
This is Jizzle. Wu-Tang is in the building. WhoMag TV.
Hey, yo, what's good, man? I came along. WhoMag, man, you already know.
Fight Dog, formerly of a Top Punk Question. It's all about that WhoMag TV.
George Dr. Frankenstein Clinton saying, check out WhoMag.
It's your boy Lil Jon getting crunk on WhoMag TV.
Hip-hop was something that everybody was waiting for,
but they didn't know they was waiting for it.
It's the Who Mag document. It ain't no stopping what the Bronx got popping. Commence the up-rocking. Legendary DJs, old school's the key phrase. Lace up your BKs, take it to the PJs. But never mind rap, we'll rapper what's behind that. Sedgwick and C to the spot where you can find that. Pure hip-hop, forget about it, throw back. Hit a blank tape, hit record and let's go back. Who Mag?
Hip-hop document.
Hip-hop document.
We keep rocking it.
It's the Who Mag.
Ain't no stopping it.
Hip-hop document.
Hip-hop document.
1973 is kind of when all the elements came together, and pretty much that next 2 years pretty much formed the foundation of hip-hop culture.
Hip-hop is evolution, hip-hop is life, hip-hop is culture.
Hip-hop now is straight culture.
For me, hip-hop is, it's the music.
It means strength. It's about your attitude and your lifestyle.
When you use the word hip-hop, it's about peace, love, unity, and having fun.
Hip-hop is breakdancing, graffiti.
Hip-hop is, yo, you my boy, yeah. You did good out there, watch me.
Whenever I think of hip-hop, I think of summertime.
Back in the early 70s, you had like the Bronx, you had all the abandoned buildings and stuff like that.
It originated in the BX in the Bronx.
The very first DJ I ever got to see on the turntables was Kool Herc.
I linked up with Kool Herc.
DJ Kool Herc.
I am the first solo MC in hip-hop.
We were the first female rappers.
Old musicians used to say, that ain't music, that ain't music.
And those are 5 milestones, I think, in hip-hop that make it what it is today.
I've seen it come from not being played on the radio at all.
Hear my mom's and my pop's records being spent back and forth, not knowing what it is, kind of thing.
There's a total difference between rap and hip-hop.
What they have now is rap. That's hip-hop. That's hip-hop.
Some of these kids don't know who a Chuck D is, who a Grandmaster Flash is.
Lyricists respect the old school.
I respect their love, but they don't know our love.
When the golden era stopped for not only myself, but groups like De La Soul and Jungle Brothers and things of that nature, it was like a slap in the face to the people that we served.
I used to study this man's cassettes.
People always ask me, who's better, Tupac or Biggie? I say Chuck D. Check the lyrics, listen to the flows, listen to the records. That is rap to perfection.
Everybody in the house, we dedicate the night to Mr. James Brown.
I practiced it with different records, and hours later, it became a scratch.
You do this kind of scratch, and then it's Dr. Ice, and he can do this scratch, and then there's Jazzy Jeff and Cash Money, and he did the Transformer scratch, and DJ Aladdin, and it just starts to progress and progress.
First of all, you gotta have love and passion for the art.
There might be a record, and there might be a break in the record. That's how, break beats.
We was in record pools, and the only DJs in the record pools that wanted rap records. Like the other DJs, they wanted dance music.
Well, before it used to be, if you found a record that had a beat on it, people will will dance to it. But these days, it's different.
At the time, we were signed to Sugar Hill.
People were coming over the bridge from New York to Sugar Hill, like, oh man, like Motown.
Today, right now, I'm getting paid off a record that I did with Sugar Hill. So when I made it with Sugar Hill, I didn't make no money.
Documentaries on my TV network, WhoMagTV.com. There's a section that says movie. It's a free cell phone app too. You can download the WhoMag Multimedia app or WhoMagTV.com. So that's just a little, we did 3,000 interviews. That was our documentary, and yeah, we did pretty well with it. So I guess you gonna start asking questions?
Yeah.
Okay.
Julia's gonna start.
All right, Julia.
Oh no, just keep it. I take that one, and so after we switch.
Yes.
So yeah, we have 2 mics as we said. But anyway, you are from the States, so you can say from your perspective.
Absolutely.
Which
Well,
has
obviously,
been
the first movie was Wild Style, and after that, shortly after, was Stylist War. But the first hip hop movie I saw was Crush Groove, and I remember I was really little. And I shouldn't be saying this with my daughter here, but I was really little, and I may have been 9 or 10 years old. I remember I rode my bike halfway across the city and parked and went to go see Crush Groove. They let me in by myself, and it just blew my mind because I was a huge fan around where I live in Cherry Hill, New Jersey. Hip hop came to us, a little later. Like when I was in the hip hop, nobody was in the hip hop at all where I lived. Everyone thought I was this weird kid. So nobody wanted to see Crush Groove with me. Nobody. So I went by myself, and it just blew my mind. And from there, the hip hop scene has changed. I love how it evolved. I mean, some of the cool things about it too is the evolution of that was when music got really big in the movies. We saw, you see Ice-T in some of these movies young. You see Run DMC. You see Fat Boys. You see L Cool J with the most iconic scene ever in Crush Groove. That's my favorite scene when Box he drops in. That was like to me like that was hardcore hip hop at that time because like Run DMC was always hardcore until L Cool J came out with that. But it just became an obsession. And like I said, I was this weird kid that liked hip hop. Everyone thought I was this weird kid, but look at him now. Hip hop got me into ringing the closing bell at the New York Stock Exchange with Jesse Jackson. It got me speaking to 50,000 people in South Korea. It brought me here to Rome. I mean, hip hop is so powerful, and my whole career was based off of hip hop television and hip hop movies. That's how I got started. So again, like I said earlier, I'm the first one ever to put hip hop in Netflix. Period. I'm the first one to put hip hop on Blockbuster. I don't know if you guys have Blockbuster out here, but it was like a big movie store.
We had it.
Yeah. They didn't know what to do with it. They put it in a special interest section next to a Jane Fonda DVD and a cooking DVD. And there was my hip-hop DVD. And every time I go into the store, it was always out. It was always gone because everyone was always renting it, and it was awesome. But yeah, so the evolution from there, from going to the New York scene to going to like some of the West Coast hip-hop movies and then seeing like some of the stuff that I saw here since I was here, man. I had a great time watching Federico's movie, like seeing how the Central America graffiti scene, like there's just so many things like hip hop started where we were. So even like when things like Miami came out with 2 Live Crew and West Coast came out with their music, we were still in our bubble. Like we didn't care about a lot of that stuff because we had so much coming out. I think as Atlanta came in and kind of changed the scene where people started looking like, wow, there is this whole other stuff going on. And then we start seeing more international records come out. But like coming to something like this is such a great thing because we get to see things that we have no idea about because we're still kind of stuck in our bubble. And as you guys may have known, New York hip hop has changed a lot, which, not always for the better, but there's still a lot of incredible MCs out in New York, and luckily I have a job, I do music distribution with 2,000 records out, so I get to hear so much incredible music. We have so many international records too, submitted from all over the world to us, which is great. Yeah, I mean, hip-hop cinemas, it changed the landscape for films in general. I think it changed the landscape for documentaries in a way, like biopics, because there's so many biopics on hip-hop artists. I mean, the NWA one, there was even like when Eminem came out, even though it wasn't really a biopic, it almost felt like it was a biopic. And it gave this feel and for those that didn't even like hip hop or even like Eminem, they loved that movie. That was just an iconic movie. But the evolution has changed and it's great, and then my favorite thing about it too was the soundtracks because there's like maybe one producer did the entire soundtrack and it had all the biggest names of, like New Jack City soundtrack was one of my favorites. The Juice soundtrack was one of my favorites. And we lost that. It's not there anymore. We don't have the soundtrack anymore to movies, it breaks my heart because that was my favorite thing because you have a compilation. There's money behind these records because the movie put it out. So every record is going to be dope. So, yeah, but I love how my favorite part about the evolution of hip-hop films is, of course, me being in the film industry, cameras are cheaper, equipment's cheaper, so we're seeing more and more independent films being made, which tell more of a real grittier story, so you can actually feel it more than the overpriced Hollywood versions of what they're doing. So, yeah.
And also, we speak about the independent, okay, so I speak in Italian for them and Kwanzaa translate for you. Torniamo al discorso dell'indipendente che abbiamo proprio parlato nella precedente conferenza e chiaramente per tutti noi che non siamo americani, indipendente significa totalmente un'altra cosa e io credo che un altro punto molto importante sia anche la cinematografia intesa a livello di fotografia cinematografica, perché l'universo hip hop ha creato un immaginario fotografico a livello di direzione della fotografia, partendo dai videoclip musicali che oggi hanno influenzato l'immaginario fino al grande schermo.
I work with a company called Band Royalty. I'm the CCO of the company. And with the NFTs, I don't know if you guys are familiar with it, but it's a new technology, and it's going to work great with movies right now, too, because it's the next phase. We started the first hip-hop battle league with NFTs called GTX, with Lush One and Disaster. We actually, between Lush One and with the Disaster and Assassino, put together the very first international hip-hop battle. We got 1.2 million views the first day on Red Bull 2 days ago. That was our battle. That was Lush One and Disaster GTX. Yep. 2 weeks ago we did that. And that's the first hip-hop battle ever. There's going to be NFTs. So if you guys aren't familiar with it, Band Royalty, let me know. I can tell you all about it. They actually helped bring me out here as well, too. It's one of my sponsors. A shout out to Band Royalty. But that's kind of the next evolution of films, too, is anything going on. Like right now, the distribution is in, obviously, films, television, stuff like that. But as far as NFTs, that's the next evolution where you actually own a piece of it. As you guys here can buy a piece of it and own it and resell it and make money off of it. But Julia, I know you wanted to ask a question. What was the?
Yeah. So no, the thing I wanted to ask you is like, how gets to you the information of how hip hop is lived in the other countries, because you are in the homeland of hip hop, and so the movies get to you in a different way. And every episode that now you had from different countries, you see there is a different way in which movies or music let the different scene starts. So did you know that, or maybe you don't know?
No, I mean, I had an awesome opportunity to judge the music video category. And even though I had the TV networks, we get videos submitted all over the world for music videos. I've never seen so many different cultural videos from Costa Rica, from everywhere, and different languages. And it was like, wow. And like looking at the cinematography effects, looking at the background, looking at the environments, it's like, I've never seen this before. This is incredible. So then coming here and seeing some of these movies, it's just like, it's eye-opening because, we're used to our culture. And the thing about where we are, it's the birthplace of it. Yeah, the thing is we get so much fed to us. Like, I think the difference is when you come from like Rome, you're in Costa Rica, you're stretching the grab from America. It keeps getting shoved down our throat every day. So that's why we're not looking outside so much, because there's already so much right here, we don't feel the need. I think that's why when we have something like this film festival, it's a great opportunity, because now it gives us an opportunity to see the different cultures, how they live, and hear these stories, either verbally or through film, which we never get the opportunity because, and it's, we can always just look, but again, there's so much shoved down our throat. Again, I was the first hip hop company verified on YouTube, way back. We're the first ones to monetize off of it. So we were first putting content up on YouTube like crazy. And so I have a broker who told me stop. He said, stop doing it because he said, you're giving away your stuff for free. So why would you do that? I can make you money off your content. So I stopped putting stuff on YouTube. And then that's when Mag TV, my hip hop show, I was trying to get a place in America. Nobody wanted it because it's all major networks. My first network was on Sky TV in Europe, 120 million households. I broke my US hip hop TV show in Europe. And then after I broke in Europe, I brought it back to the US. Then it got picked up by National Network on US. But I had to, I guess they're looking for me to prove myself, which is weird. But yeah, that's how it happened. Because again, there's so much. US, we already know, especially in New York, all the artists are from there. We already know these guys. We don't want to see them. We know who they are already. But I guess that's what helped break me internationally. And then I did what happened, I started with a DVD magazine first, the DVD magazine. And that's how the TV show got picked up from Sky. 2005, I put out the hip hop, this one right here, in 2005, and this became such a huge DVD overseas. This is the first one that's on Netflix and Blockbuster, but overseas it got so big. That's when I got the email from this channel called In Sky that said, hey, can you make this to a TV show? And I had no idea how to do it because I actually had someone that filmed and edited. I just kind of I guess I was a producer at that time. I didn't even know what I was doing. I was just doing interviews. And I was all excited, and I told him, yo, you got the opportunity to make it a TV show. Mm-hmm. And he's like, oh, I'm moving to Vegas tomorrow. So I'm like, yo, you can't. I got an offer to make this a TV show. So I said, before you leave, come to my house. This was for Final Cut 3. I said, install Final Cut 3 on my computer. He said, you're not going to be able to learn it. I said, listen, I sat with you while you made this whole DVD. I told you what to press, what to do. So this is before YouTube. So I bought Final Cut for Dummies. I taught myself how to edit on Final Cut 3. And next thing you know, this DVD came out, and then after that, it became the biggest TV show in the world, with the TV side. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sure.
So I think we can speak like for 10 hours at least. Time is running. Even if we are over time, we can speak a little bit more. Maybe if there are questions from the public, could be...
I have gifts whoever has questions, so make sure you want to ask questions, trust me.
Ci sono delle domande, dei punti, delle cose insomma che va a qualcuno nel pubblico di esporre. Siamo ovviamente fuori tempo, però le proiezioni stanno andando avanti, abbiamo ancora un margine magari di una ventina di minuti che ci possiamo ricavare. Vai. E anzi, non puoi andare perché ti devo dare questo.
Ciao a tutti. Allora, abbiamo parlato dei film, ma invece per quanto riguarda i telefilm o gli show televisivi, che cosa possiamo dire?
You just gotta be careful. Like, for example, like, say the Wu-Tang show, right? You guys seen the Wu-Tang show? A lot of that stuff is fiction. I don't know if you guys realize that. Like, there's a scene with Just Ice that never happened ever. Just Ice is my homie. He was so mad. They never told him. He was so mad. Yeah, he was so mad. I talked to Just Ice last night. He hit me up. Yeah, but and that was one of the problems that some of the Wu-Tang members had from that show, is a lot of stuff was fiction. So if you do make a TV show, then that's the thing people have been putting into it, like, you know, but there are a lot of great series. Like, I still enjoyed it. It was still a good show. You know, it's like, it reminded me of The Wire. I don't know if you guys ever seen The Wire, but it reminded me of, like, The Wire.
The Wire is like Scarface, something
yeah, it was,
that influenced
and now the new one's out now.
With the characters.
There's a new one out now. You know that, right?
Yeah, I know.
We own the city. Yeah. So, but as far as hip hop TV, so I mean, Netflix has put out some good documentaries on hip hop, which is great. So they're out there. But if you're gonna make a series, you have to understand, like, you know, if it's a 6-part series, all 6 have to be good. So that's the thing, is like, you can't just put everything in the first one and try to drag out the rest, even though the first one's probably what's going to sell the deal. So if you're looking for it, and the good thing about television is there's so many options to put it out now, whereas back in the day there wasn't. So now between Hulu, Amazon, Netflix, Tubi, all these different, I know what's out here, but there's so many places in the U.S. as far as outlets, and you can always self-distribute yourself. Amazon Prime, you can put up yourself if you wanted to, you know, or even if it's just YouTube, whatever it may be, but yeah.
La mia domanda era più una curiosità rispetto a ciò di cui parlavamo prima, cioè quei telefilm dove c'era un pizzico di pop ma non esplicitamente. Posso pensare a Willy il principe di Bel-Air, esatto.
Yeah, they just remade it. Did you watch the new one? Yeah. Is that what you're talking about?
L'hanno rifatto.
Ah,
Hai visto
sì,
il
sì.
nuovo rifatto?
So that's from Philadelphia. That's where I'm at. Brand New Funk. Do you know Brand New Funk? By Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince?
Okay, sì.
To me, that was one of the best hip-hop songs at that time. Then it went to the Parents Don't Understand, Girls Ain't Nothing But Trouble, more comical. But Brand New Funk was, to me, one of the best DJ MC songs back and forth. It was like, because Philadelphia was known for their DJs. We had the best DJs. New York had the best rappers. But Philly, we had the DJs. It's Cash Money. Now you have the old, but now you created the scratch, but we perfected it.
We have no time to start.
We did the Transformers scratch. We started the Transformers scratch.
DJ Jazzy Jeff.
Yes, and Cash Money.
DJ
Cash
Jazzy
Money.
Jeff is your best DJ.
Cash Money.
And I'm going to tell you right now,
DJ Cash Money.
Jazzy Jeff, I love you.
Jazzy Jeff too.
Jazzy Jeff, I love you. But we know what happened, and here's the rumor. I'll leave it as a rumor. But we think that when you did that scratch that made you famous, LL Cool J is hard as hell. Battle anybody. You remember that? My DJ, Prince Paul, that's where you got that from. So you got the best DJs. But we're going to tell the truth here.
I don't know about that one.
Church, say amen. Nah, but I love your DJ. Philly got the greatest DJ. They got really good DJs. We love that. We just love telling that story because Prince Paul is our guy. But you know, they all went their separate directions.
You guys had the MCs, we had the DJs.
Right.
I owe you a prize. I got you.
I have a question for
I want to know your opinion on, like, for example, like all the legends, like, have to go to all the rest of the world to like make the money. How can we, or if there's a possibility, or you think like in United States, to make the rest of the world go to United States as well, like our artists or people in Europe, and be appreciated by the U.S. culture like that, or you think like that's not gonna happen, or what you think about that?
That's a great question, man. And I have a lot of the big hip hop legends are signed to me for distribution. I have a lot of them signed to me. And I study sales all day. Like I study Spotify streams, how they're streaming, what's streaming, why. We are thankful for everybody overseas because you guys love hip hop more than a lot of people in the United States love hip hop. And you guys are what keep these legends touring and keeping money in their pocket. Because in the US, first of all, they're all there. So it's harder to book because there's so many of them. So everyone's trying to, and the promoters out there, they're nickel and dime everybody. They're trying to get them as cheap as possible. So they don't really give these artists what they deserve. So I hear these stories all the time from my artists when they go overseas, how it was the best time of their life. They toured, they don't want to come home. The fans, and they do a show that maybe 2,000 people, they come home, they do a show that maybe 50. And it's sad. But then again, everyone in the U.S. is like, oh, we've seen this guy 20 times already. Or you got to think about that too. We grew up on these people, but so I would thank all of you guys for supporting hip hop the way you guys do, because I wish we had more of that support in the U.S. with some of the older artists. Even when it comes to the music, the new stuff, a lot of them don't want to drop new music because they're scared. Because what if you come out and nothing happens, which happens a lot of times. I don't know if you guys notice everyone starts dropping these surprise albums all of a sudden. Oh, all of a sudden we drop an album today, won't tell anybody, it's a surprise album. The reason they do that is because they're scared to act like it's a real promoted album and have it fail. This way they could always say, oh, there was no promo behind it. It gives them an excuse for it. So a lot of people are dropping surprise albums now so they don't feel like they failed, because it's a different game. The old school artist, you got to remember, if you're a rapper from the 80s and 90s, your fan base is your age. And a lot of them would buy records. They don't know Spotify. A lot of them don't use Spotify. So they don't understand the dynamics of it, playlisting. So the younger artists win. Now back to the booking agents. The booking agents in the U.S., their whole thing is we got to fill up a place. So if these guys are on Instagram, the younger guys, and they have 20, 30,000, 100,000 followers, they can reach all their people. If it's an older rapper, we have to do all the work. So let's book these younger guys just because we know we can fill the place, charge them at the door, make our money, because their job isn't impressing the artists or making the artists feel good. Their job is to make money. So that's just the mentality of the promoter. You got to remember that. So as far as bringing artists to America, I mean, it's hard, especially if there's a language barrier. I know over there, you guys, when I first watched the documentary on Wu-Tang, I think they were in China, and everyone knew every single word to a Wu-Tang song in America. It blew my mind. I was like, oh my God, that blew my mind. And I realized, like, yeah, even if the people don't speak American, they can still, they'd still listen to the words and know all the words. We're lazy. They don't do that. I'll be honest with you. Like what I just tell you at the end of your movie, to set the song during the trailer, during the credits, I said I wanted that song. I tried to Shazam it, it wasn't coming up. And I don't speak Spanish, but I wanted that song. I'm like, this song is so dope. It's like, but I like listening to, and back to Latins and hip hop, where you guys are talking about Beat Nuts and Big Pun. I think the Latin MC they always had their piece in New York, man, but Big Pun was always my favorite. And Beat Nuts were always my favorite. Like, I've known everything. Beat Nuts actually changed my life. There's a whole story behind that I want to get into. But Latin hip hop, man, I think there was the best MCs were Latin hip hop artists. So, it's tougher. I wish we could bring more international artists over to the U.S. because it's like if you're doing a show, who's going to come? Well, we did the Assassino when, thanks to Indy for bringing this up, the Assassino battle versus Disaster. We knew it was going to be a follow-on because we know Assassino is so big in Mexico. He's like the biggest. Yeah, so to bring him, we brought him to L.A. and had him battle Disaster. And again, we got 1.2 million views on YouTube in a day. And that place, I have video on my phone. I can show you some of the video if you guys want to see it later. When I was filming from my phone, that everybody went crazy for Assassino. everyone screaming, and it was it was 3 rounds. The first round was English versus English, so Assassino had to rap in English. The second round was Spanish versus Spanish, so Disaster had to rap in Spanish. And the third round was Spanglish. You just go back and forth. And it's the first time that's ever been done, period. So we set the culture with international battle rap. Yeah, so always trying to raise the bar. So we're glad if that helped bring something to America. But there needs to be more stuff like that where for an overseas artist to come, it has to work well with someone in America so they can come and do it together.
Allora io volevo ringraziare tutti, thank you everybody. So
Thank you. Now remember,
alle 8:30 speriamo di essere puntuali, avremo la cerimonia di premiazioni, sotto stanno continuando le proiezioni, quindi andate a vedere gli ultimi film che sono rimasti e grazie a tutti per la partecipazione, questa era l'ultima conferenza di quest'anno e ci vediamo l'anno prossimo.
and before you guys leave, you guys sign my poster too, man. Before you guys leave.